What's up guys, welcome back to another video, and as you can see we are working on a old channel friend, Ciao. This was my very first moped that I ever could ride on the streets, so it's pretty precious to me, and also we did a lot of work on it. If you are new to the channel, I'm gonna put a playlist of this bike in the description down below, so if you want to see the complete build of the engine and everything from start to finish, well, maybe not to start to finish. I started working on this bike when I was 19 years old and picked it up like 2 years ago. I did a lot of stuff. I put a new engine in it. There is a 65cc engine in it with all different kind of mods, porting, new carburetor. I did as much with the money that I had and I'm pretty happy about it. Now the plan for today was to actually tune it. Go out on the streets and get a good tune on it. Get the clutch assembly all figured out. I got a new pulley and belt. That was the whole idea. But it's snowing outside. As you can see, it's still snowing and it's so cold. So that is out of the window. So instead, I'm gonna just work on the bike, see what I can fix, see what I can add. Because I'm not really sure where I left off on this bike. It's been a long time. It's been almost a year that I worked on this bike. I'm not really sure, so it's gonna be all a surprise for me. So let's pull off the covers, clean it up a little bit and see what we can do. So as you saw, the whole transmission is back together. The clutch, the pulley and the belt are back on there. And as you saw, I did a little test ride. Maybe you guys noticed, but I switched up the pulley. This is my old pulley. I painted green. Yeah, I know it's a little bit tacky, but there is a bigger pulley on here. Now, I was really stupid. Like 19 years ago, I bought that pulley because I thought, hey, I'm gonna have a bigger engine. I'm gonna have more speed, but I want to keep it legal. Now, this is an A-class Ciao. This means that it only can go 25 kilometers per hour. Now with the stock engine and with this pulley and whatever, it got a top speed of 33 kilometers an hour. The police did a test on this bike and they give the okay that 33 kilometers was legal at the time. Legally you can ride 25, but there is a margin up or down. So I don't know what the rules are these days. Maybe it's low, maybe it's higher, I don't know. So my idea was, if I put on a bigger pulley, that will reduce my speed so I can ride it legally. Now I was a little bit stupid about this because the engine is gonna rev higher, so it's gonna go up in RPM and it's gonna be awful riding like that. As you saw from the test ride, it goes, but it is so high in RPM and it's really not fun for riding. I did a test with Yamaha Ride, the app where you can track how much speed you are getting and your acceleration and all that. Now I got a max speed of 41 with this pulley. This pulley is a 90. I have a 80 right here, and with the 80 I did a test ride and I got about 58 kilometers an hour, but that was with the other cylinder head. If you want to see what all happens, go check out that video. It's in the playlist in the description down below. To make the bike rideable and enjoyable, I'm gonna have to buy a new pulley and a new belt to fit it all on there, but I'm not really sure which size I want to go with. Maybe 70, maybe 75, but I don't know what speed I'm gonna get with that pulley. So I'm gonna contact the people of jmpbparts.com, give them all the information that I got about this engine, and I'm gonna ask him what is gonna be the best pulley for this bike. Also, the clutch looks pretty nice. I mean, it is 25 years old, at least. I think it's 25. I had the bike when I was 17. I'm 33 right now. So that is in my ownership for 16 years, and it was a second-hand bike, so it is a little bit older. I don't know the year that it was built, but it's old. Between 20 and 25 years old, that is the age of the bike, but it still runs and I'm pretty happy about that. Now the reason that I was sanding this clutch is because I wanted to paint it. Now the paint is already here. This is high temp black paint. I was planning on painting it black, but after seeing how clean I could get the clutch, I'm gonna keep it like this. Now as you saw, I just got on with the wire wheel and with sandpaper I went up to 500 grit sandpaper. I didn't go all the way like 1000 and 2000 because I'm gonna save that, because this is gonna rust again, so I'm gonna have to do this process all over again, and I want to clear coat it. If you're riding a bike, the clutch is getting hot, so you need high temperature clear coat. I don't have this right here right now, so in a later stage we're gonna have to return to this clutch and sand it and paint it and make it all nice and pretty again so it doesn't rust again. Also, you saw that I put in new clutch springs. I also bought this when I was 19 years old. I didn't know a lot about bikes and I thought, hey, I'm gonna put in these springs and I'm gonna pull wheelies and whatever, but it doesn't work like that. Mainly the springs are for getting the bike up to a higher RPM before the clutch engages. The springs that I got in there are Polini springs. You have the stock springs, then you got the black springs, the green springs, and then the blue springs. But I'm doubting if the black ones aren't heavier than the blue ones. But the bike performs good, it got decent enough power, it engages or whatever. Now with this transmission setup you have a little bit of limitations. You can improve the launch times and whatever with a much better performing transmission. I'm talking about variator and variator rolls and whatever, where the belt changes diameter from one side to the other to get a better, I think top speed is gonna be better, launching is gonna be better. So I looked into that setup and it's really expensive. I'm talking about 300 euros for just the transmission parts. It's not that you can buy a variator and then you're good to go like with the RCX. I'm just gonna have to buy a variator and that's it. But with this you have to change change everything on your transmission. So here you have the stock clutch, this engages or whatever, and then it rotates the pulley and then you move forward. Now with the Malossi or Polini or whatever you want for a brand, you have to put this right here. So you're gonna have to get a longer shaft to mount this. Now this is the cover that goes on there, so you see that there is space for it. Now I did some calculations at home to get this part and the elongated shaft with the whole new gearing system in here for better performance. It's like 80 euros, and for the shaft 140 euros. So yeah, 300 euros, no thank you, not on this bike. But without doing that, I'm pretty limited in what I can do. I can change the springs and I can change the size of the pulley. It's a little bit cheaper, but the performance is what you get. The more you pay, the more customization you are getting. If you pay less, yeah, you don't get a lot of customization. But that is not the whole point of this bike. It's not to be turned into a race bike. I mean, it's a stock crankcase. I think those transmissions are more for like the higher power engines. I'm talking about with the crankcase, with the reed valves and whatever. This is like, it is a tuned engine. It's a better performing engine, bigger engine, but it's not at the top end, and I don't want to go to that on the top end. I want like a pretty good speed and reliability. For speed, I'm thinking about easily go up to 60 kilometers an hour, maybe go a little bit high, like 70 or 75, but not a lot high, because the bike has some other limitations. I mean, the whole fork system. I mean, the springs on here are pretty basic. On the back, there's no springs at all. With like higher speeds like 90 or 100, I mean, you have to really modify the bike, and I want to keep this like stock-ish. With the exhaust, I cannot pull off that it's stock, but I want the bike to look like natural. This has to be like kind of a sleeper build, but not sleepery-ish. So now I'm gonna do some other stuff. I know what the pulley does. That was my main concern. I'm gonna reinstall the smaller pulley. That is a better performing pulley in my opinion, better speed. Maybe I'm gonna do a speed test on that, and then we're gonna do some other stuff. I still don't have a front brake. Maybe I'm gonna put that on there. So yeah, I'm just gonna do some stuff you will see in the time lapse. So the Ciao is all back together now. It looks pretty nice. For a 20 to 25-year-old bike, it looks pretty. As you saw, I put on the front brake. I always keep the cable a little bit longer because the cable will stretch and then I can adjust it once it's stretched in. That is something that I do. That's the way that I work. Now I was searching in my parts bin and I found this switch, and the switch fits perfectly in here, and I think I'm gonna make that my horn button. The horn used to be over here, but because I drilled a hole here, I'm gonna put this switch right here. That is gonna be for next week. I'm not gonna do that right now. I don't have my soldering kit right here because I want to do it perfectly. So next week we're gonna work on the electrical system. I know you guys don't like that when we work on electrical systems. It is not that fun, but it has to be done. Maybe see what I can do to improve it even better. The tail light doesn't work and the brake light doesn't work, so I'm gonna have to fix that. But as you can see, the bike looks absolutely pretty. Also, I did a test ride with the other pulley, the smaller pulley, but the bike still needs to rev up high, so I'm gonna have to get even a smaller pulley to make it rideable, comfortable, so you don't have to be wide open throttle to hit that 50 mark. But yeah, it's coming together. It looks pretty nice. Once we get the lighting all sorted, this is gonna be a complete bike. It's gonna look pretty. Don't know what I'm gonna do later on with this bike, but it looks absolutely perfect. I'm pretty happy. This is my, yeah, let's call it childhood, the first step into two-strokes engines. But I want to finish this up. I don't want to have to do extra work. I want it to look good, nice, work, everything. Brakes, lights, everything needs to work on this bike, and then we can see what we will do with it. I also got out, yeah, this is the old pulley, my jets. So that means I'm gonna attempt to jet the bike, tune it, see how good it runs, which jet I need to get in there to make it run perfectly. Now I don't have all the jets right here. I'm gonna have to see what works if I have like a 70 and a 74. And at 74 it sputters and at 70 it doesn't. I might get a 72. Hopefully the weather is a lot better because now it's cold, it's humid, and it's not fun to tune. Next week a little bit of wiring, not too much, not the whole video, then some tuning, see what the bike performs at and get it all to a nice completion, and then we can see what we can still do. This is not a full restoration. I mean, restoration, there's still rust on here. This is like getting it ready for somebody else to enjoy it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you are new here, check the link in the description down below for the complete playlist of the Ciao, so you can get up to speed what is happened with this bike and the engine and everything, and get more backstory about it. So that is going to be it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram. And if you're not already subscribed yet, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.